How's it going, everyone? My name's Garrett.
I'm Linda.
And we're going to be taking you on a tour around Tulane's campus today. I am a junior right now studying math and computer science from just outside Columbus, Ohio.
My name is Linda and I'm a junior studying marketing and management right now.
As for some things I do on campus, I am obviously a tour guide. I work in Tulane's admissions office. I am in a pre-professional business fraternity, and I've been a computer science teaching assistant for about 4 semesters now.
Okay, I'm a global ambassador and work with undergrad admission. And today I'm going to translate what Garrett says in Chinese and help you guys a lot.
All right, so I guess we can sort of get started. So right now we are on Tulane's academic quad. That is the first of 3 main areas of campus. Other ones include the residential quad, which houses different dorms on campus, alongside our dining halls and some other residential spaces, alongside another more athletics-based quad that's sort of farther down on that side of campus.
所以我们学校大致分为3个部分，然后一个是学术部分，就是我们现在站的这个地方叫 academic quad。然后呢，我们再往后一点呢，可以碰到一个更倾向于学生生活的一块，主要聚集了学生宿舍还有食堂的一些部分。另外还有一个体育运动的一块区域，然后这个区域呢，主要是给健身员还有运动员还有一些学生们的日常健身运动所准备的。
All right, sounds good. Let's go check out the quad. So right behind me and Linda is the Richardson Building, which used to house one of the larger, what are they called? Lecture halls on campus, where a lot of classes such as Calculus 1 or Intro to Micro and Macroeconomics, alongside a lot of other introductory classes that mainly freshmen take. A lot of people have to take those for a lot of different majors. That used to be happening right in this building. But since then, in addition to that, a recent renovation was done to sort of upgrade the building to house our Carolyn Barber Pierre Center for Intercultural Life, which houses a bunch of different organizations related to gender and sexual diversity, people and other people of multicultural backgrounds. So just to make sure that as many people here at Tulane feel as home as possible, especially those who are from possibly underrepresented communities.
所以我们身后的这个 building 呢，主要叫 Richardson Building， 然后它主要是为我们大一的新生，然后有一些基础的大型的课程所准备的一些 general course。然后呢，这个里面一般我们会 take 比如说像数学课、微观经济、宏观经济学的课都会在这个 building 里面上。后来呢，这个建筑呢，同时也是各个不同文化组织的一个集合点吧，可以说是。然后这个地方呢，会就是有很多人，他们可以把这边称为自己的一个家，然后他们就会有很多的学生组织在里面，然后主要是一些不同文化的一些办公室啊什么的也会都在里面能够起到给一些比如说我们比较 diversity 的一个 group 能够提到更多的帮忙，然后他们也会帮助我们去提高我们这边一个全球化的一个项目的提升。
All right, let's go check out the rest of campus. All right, so we're still out here on the A quad. We're just going to try to point out some different academic buildings around campus. So over here we have a bunch of different schools or buildings where a lot of different liberal arts classes are typically housed in. Over on my right, your left, is the School of Architecture, and behind that way is where a lot of different buildings where School of Science and Engineering classes and departments are housed. Now it's sort of fitting that a lot of different schools and departments are all housed in the same place, similar to the interdisciplinarity and cross-disciplinary collaboration that goes on at Tulane so often. Tulane really encourages all students to take classes across a variety of different majors, departments, schools, things like that, just to get as diverse and sort of like well-versed, I guess, academic experience.
好，所以我们现在还是在 A 跨这个部分。然后刚刚我们所说的这一片区呢，主要是聚集了我们的文理学院。 然后那一边的建筑呢，主要是建筑学院的一个城市。然后在我们的背后呢，在我们的前面呢，应该是工程学院，还有一些科学院的一些地方在那个地方。主要我们学校其实提供的课程都是会偏向于多元化一些，就是大家都会 take 不一样的课程，然后也许并不属于你的专业的一些课程，但是学校主要的目的是为了让我们能够更加的全科发展一些。
All right, let's keep going. All right, so right behind us, we have Cudd Hall. Now, every single Friday, well, actually, before I get to that, first I'll say that this is where a lot of the dean's offices are located. So the different deans of the different schools, things like that. Every single Friday, or about every single Friday, we have Front Porch Fridays where either a band or a bunch of tents will be outside here where the different organizations within Tulane Newcomb College will be providing free coffee, food from sponsored different local restaurants around the community and around uptown New Orleans. Will literally be like right outside here. It was just happening actually earlier today, which is really, really awesome. It's also a great opportunity for a lot of students to actually meet with the deans who are sort of at the head of the administration at Tulane. So great demonstration of Tulane really making sure that all of their students are actually getting to meet and engage with the people who are sort of running the university at that higher administrative level.
我们身后的这栋建筑呢叫 Cudd Hall， 然后它主要是一些学院的院长，还有一些部门的一个领头人的一个办公室的聚集地。然后这个地方呢，每周五我们都会举办一场盛大的会议或者说是活动吧。然后我们会准备免费的咖啡，然后同时呢，这些我们也会有学校的这些院长都会出来，然后跟我们一起聊天，这样你也可以跟他们聊一下你的生活呀、你的学术啊，还有你的一些疑惑啊，都可以在这边跟他们解答。同时，我们也会请很多本地的餐厅，然后过来给我们 provide 一些，为我们提供一些食物在这边。我们就在我们现在脚下的这一块地方，就会有很多的食物，然后就会举办一些各种各样的活动，然后你也可以进行一些聊天，还有交谈。
All right, let's go check out Mussafer. So right behind us, we have Mussafer Hall. Now, housed in Mussafer is the academic advising department alongside the success coaching department and offices. What that means is every single student at Tulane is assigned an academic advisor to basically help them make sure that they are on track to graduate, taking the right courses, figuring out what each course load they're going to be taking on in the semester, just to make sure that they're on time to graduate, things like that. As for success coaching, that's all about professional development and things related to making sure that your LinkedIn is up to date, figuring out how to write a resume, how to build a cover letter, stuff like that, alongside figuring out how to actually go into interviews, cold call, or email people. So it's all about sort of resources and making sure that Tulane students really have a lot of different ways to make sure that they're actually prepared not only through their time here at Tulane academically, but also beyond their time here professionally.
所以我们身后的这一栋建筑呢是叫 Mussafer Hall， 它主要是集合了一些我们的学术指导老师在里面，然后所有我们杜兰的学生都必须要在这边会被 assign， 就是被 assign 一位指导老师，然后这位老师呢会跟踪你所有的学术信息你是否选了正确的课，你是否已经选到了你心仪的学科。什么时候你需要毕业，同时他也会指导你的领英的一个 resume， 还有简历的一些撰写，然后他们也会帮助你在今后找到你想要的一些实习呀，还有各种这一类有关于你如何变成你想要成为自己的人的地方，你只要来这栋建筑就没有错。
All right, go. So right over here we have Alcee Forche Hall. This is where the Center of Public Service at Tulane's campus is housed. Now, Tulane has a fierce commitment, or rather the Tulane community has a fierce commitment toward making sure that public service is integrated in every single one of our lives, both in sort of like a social sense, but also in an academic sense. We were one of the first universities to actually require students to actually have to take public service requirements in order to graduate. So there are 2 tiers of that. The first of which is usually just through a class. The second of which is usually through an internship with an organization or company around the community. And that typically happens during a semester, similar to how a co-op might work at other universities. But in addition to just those opportunities to get involved on campus, a lot of different student organizations that are heavily involved with service, such as Cactus, are also run out of places like this building. Same thing with those are the organizations that also put on things like Outreach Tulane, which is the biggest day of community service that Tulane offers. It happens every single fall, really early on in the semester. I think this past time it featured about 700 people total who pulled up. So it was a really, really exciting experience where we all just got to give back to the community all in one huge packed day.
我们身后的这栋建筑物呢，是我们的公共社会学的一个主的建筑物。然后我们的学校其实是给每一位学生提供了2门必修的2门课，是有关于公共社会学的。它主要的是第一个项目是跟着你的课去做的一个项目，另外还有一个是你要去跟一个本地的一个组织，然后跟他们沟通，然后为他们做一些对社会有意义的事情。然后这栋建筑物呢，同时也包揽了很多我们学校的大型的活动，比如说我们有一个叫 Outreach Tulane 的一个项目，这个项目在我们每年秋季的很早就开始了。然后这个项目呢，会容纳我们全校所有的人，只要你愿意参加，你就可以来参加。去年的时候是大概有700多个人来参加了我们这样的一个项目。然后这边也同时有很多的学生组织会过来，然后做一些，比如说他们如果想要去跟社会有所接触，想做一些为社会有贡献的事情，他们都会到这个 building 里面来，然后来帮助整个事件活动的发生还有策划。
So right behind us is Stern Hall. It's one of our School of Science and Engineering buildings. Inside of it is housed the psychology department alongside physics and some other departments. We really wanted to point out is PJ's Coffee right below it. So PJ's Coffee was actually a company founded by an alumnus of Tulane University. They founded this company right here in New Orleans, and they really wanted to give back to the community that gave so much to them, which was, of course, Tulane. And as a result, we have about 4 of them on campus. The one right here, there's another one all the way on the other side of campus on Willow Street, one inside the business school, and one inside our library.
所以我们现在身前的这一栋建筑呢，是我们的科学院。然后这个建筑非常的有名，它是我们心理学，还有比如说你的物理呀，还有化学的实验室都会在这栋建筑物里面做。然后呢，我们想介绍的 PJ 呢，其实是我们一位校友，然后想要帮助杜兰，所以来给我们。他自己创立了这样的一个公司，然后其实在新奥尔良也是非常有名的。他同时想来帮助我们学校，所以给我们学校提供了我们学校是没有星巴克，但是我们拥有非常多的 PJ's Coffee。然后这个店呢，总共在我们学校里面有包含了4家，分别是在这边1家，然后另外我们在 Willow Street 那边有一家比较大的一个 PJ， 然后同时商学院有1家，然后图书馆也有1家。
Right, go on. All right, so right behind us, we have 2 really important parts of campus. One being Devlin Fieldhouse, which is right on our right, or I guess pretty much right behind us. That's where our basketball court and volleyball courts and other large arena events are typically housed. For example, during student orientation, there's an event called Welcome to the Wave where every single student in the entire every single new student to Tulane, whether they be first years or whether they be transfers, international students, all of them are packed into this one arena right behind us, and they have a bunch of music going. Everyone's wearing like their dorm t-shirt or something like that. It's a really fun experience just to get everyone super invigorated about coming to Tulane and getting them excited for the year to come.
Yeah, 所以我们后面的这栋建筑物呢，是我们比较重要的一栋建筑物，它叫 Devlin Fieldhouse。然后呢，我们很多大型的室内的活动都会在这个里面举行。这个里面主要集合了，比如说像我们的篮球比赛、我们的排球比赛，还有我们其实有一个非常非常重要的活动，是每个学生都必须要参加的。在你们成为新生来到我们学校的那个 organization 那个 orientation 的时候呢，我们会到这个建筑里面，所有的同学必须要穿着他们宿舍的衣服，然后到这个建筑里面，然后大家一起玩呀，然后一起尖叫，然后为他们自己的宿舍，然后为他们宿舍自己狂欢。
All right, let's keep going. All right, so right behind us is, or I guess right under us, is Mcalister Place. Mcalister is pretty much the main highway that students take to get from the residential area of campus to the academic quad. Now, there's also a big place where a lot of student organizations do tabling for different events or recruitment events or things like that, just to sort of get the word out about whatever they might be supporting or holding in the near future. It's also typically lined with chalk when there's ever like USG elections or undergraduate student government, or for homecoming that was just a couple of weeks ago.
所以我们现在脚下的这一长片路径是我们学校的一个主干道，这个主干道呢叫 Mcalister， 然后呢我们这一条主干道呢主要是连接我们学校从宿舍那一片到我们所有的学院的一个建筑物的一条主干道。然后这条街上呢，我们经常会比如说碰到一些学生组织啊，还有一些我们学校的部门会宣传他们的一些活动，还有他们的一些比较大型的事件。同时他们有的时候会在地上用粉笔写上自己想为某一个组织或者某一件事情发生，他们就会用在地上到处写满了自己的想法，还有他们想要说的话。这里也同时是连接了整3个 quad 的一个主干道。
Yeah, the best way to think about what Mcalister really means to the Tulane community is similar to what the French Quarter really means to the New Orleans community. It's sort of the heart of this campus and everything that goes on here.
这条街其实对于我们学校来说，就如同 French Quarter 对于新奥尔良而言，法区对于新奥尔良而言的一个地位，所以它真的基本上算是我们学校的一个心脏部分的一个重要的一个枢纽。
All right, let's keep going. All right, so right behind us, we have the business school at Tulane. You'll sort of notice that it has this unique wave design along the side of it, which is sort of, an homage to our actual mascot, which is a green wave. But you'll also notice that the wave alongside the outside of it sort of dodges the trees as it goes along, which is sort of, a demonstration of our commitment toward environmentalism here on campus. It's one of the newest buildings on campus, super recently renovated, a gorgeous space inside and outside with a lot of different breakout rooms and classrooms, just so that students can really get the most out of their time here while they're going through doing their work.
所以我们身后的这栋建筑物呢，也是我自己的主学院了，这个是我们的商学院。然后呢，主要它商学院的整体构架呢，是形成了一个像杜兰的一个 wave 的形状来象征着我们学校的一个标志物，也是一个小海浪的形状。然后这个建筑物呢，是我们学校在2019年新修翻新而成的，所以它里面的设施是非常非常新的，就是里面的我现在所有像建筑物里面都是有玻璃，然后有一些比较高级的，比如说回廊啊。还有一些比较高级的书桌，然后它们都是长条桌式的。然后我们的教室呢也没有很大，大概在30到40人左右容纳的一个空间，所以 教授们都会跟你比较更亲切的互动一些。同时，我们学校所有的 breakout rooms 都在我们的商学院里面。如果你们有一些想要做的小组的一些项目啊，或者怎么样，你可以来到商学院啊，它是欢迎所有学科的同学都过来的，没有问题。大家都可以在这边学习。然后我们学校同时也有我们自己商学院也有自己的一个学院的一个 career center。然后这个 career center 呢，主要就是可以为你哪怕你现在在学校，以及未来你成为了我们的校友以后，你也可以到这个 career center 来，然后所有的人都可以，我们聚集跟我们的指导老师一起聊天，然后了解你到底未来想要做什么样的事情，想要研究什么样的项目，或者说是做各种各样的，比如说你想创业，你想要去某个大厂公司学习，那这个都可以来我们学校，然后找到我们的指导老师来帮助你。然后我们同时也有我们自己的图书馆。商院的图书馆，它在一个非常安静的后面的一个角落里面，然后这个图书馆也是非常的大，然后包含的书籍类也是更偏向于商业一些的一些内容大家都可以在里面自由的借阅书籍，然后来学习。
All right, so right behind us we have the LBC, or the Lavin Bernick Center for University Life, or I think it's just Lavin Bernick Center. Oh yeah, it is for University Life. Okay, sorry. I'm on top of my acronyms. And then we also have Pocket Park right next to it, which is a great place to sort of just go outside, eat lunch or dinner with friends, get some studying done. It's usually a pretty quiet place. Also is pretty common for different student organizations to sort of like book it, hold outdoor events, stuff like that. Inside the LBC though, it's the main place where our bookstore is located alongside a food court and a bunch of different offices for more university affiliated organizations such as WTUL, which is our university radio station. It's also where the Tulane Hullabaloo is located, where they're like the Tulane magazine or newspaper. And then also other administrative offices are housed there as well, such as new student leadership programs who provide different programming and resources for new students here at Tulane, alongside the Division of Student Affairs, just making sure that everyone's sort of like getting through their college experience all right.
OK， 所以我们身后的这个地方呢叫 Pocket Park， 然后它也是我经常喜欢来的一个地方，我称它为我的小秘密基地。其实它并不小啦，只是我每一次从商学院上完课以后，想要在外面透一口气，或者觉得商院就是我们刚刚上完课，可能觉得有点累，我就会到这个地方来休息。然后我会跟我的其他学科的朋友们一起坐在这里，然后聊聊天。然后等我们下一节课开始了，我们再一起回到自己的学院上课。所以这个地方也是承载了我很多的记忆的地方。而这个地方同时也是我们的一个室外的一个活动区域。我们很多学生的组织也会把这个地方预定下来，然后给他们自己的项目，比如说他们的活动做准备，然后布置他们的场地。同时呢，我们身后的这个 LBC 是我们主要的一个食物，还有一些我们的bookstore， 就是我们的书店所在的地方。我们可以在里面买到一些有关于杜兰的衣服呀，或者说是买一些我们学校所拥有的一些书籍啊，或者说是一些比较漂亮的本子什么的，我们都可以在书店买到。然后同时我们这个 LBC 里面也包含了很多组织，比如说像我们的学校的新闻组织叫 Woldenberg， 这个是我们的一个新闻社团，然后你可以在这里面，我们学校所有的 newspaper 都是他们出来的。然后同时呢，我们学校还有一些学校的部门也在这个 LBC 的楼上，然后你们如果有任何的问题，你们也可以去网上找到他们，然后跟他们约一个见面或者怎么样。
All right, go. Alright, so right behind us we have the Burger Family Lawn, or LBC Quad, just because it is right next to the LBC. Now this is where a lot of our larger events happen in terms of sort of festivals. So for example, Crawfest is one of the biggest festivals that's run on any university across the entire US. It is basically a student-run music festival led by our very own students, obviously, where over 20,000 pounds of crawfish are housed. Now are featured. So obviously, unfortunately I haven't been able to make it to a Crawfest just yet. However, this entire quad is generally just entirely packed with students picnicking, or sometimes families also pull up as well. So just a really great place to sort of hold these large events such as Tulane Homecoming as well, which is just a few weekends ago, where again, this entire quad was pretty much entirely packed, which was a really, really cool experience.
我们身后的这个 Quad 呢，叫做 LBC Quad， 然后它这块草坪基本上是我们学校举行最大型的室外活动的一块场地了。他们举行的活动，比如说有像 Crawfest， 我们的小龙虾节的活动，还有我们的 Homecoming Week， 我们有这种家人还有一些校友都会来Homecoming Week， 然后他们会来浏览我们的学校。这个时候呢，这些大型的活动呢，我们就会在 LBC Quad， 然后在这个地方我们举办一些非常非常大型的项目，比如说我们有音乐节，我们有乐队会请到这边来，然后同时我们会布满所有的比如说椅子啊，还有桌子，还有棚子我们也会在小龙虾节的时候提供上千吨、上万吨的小龙虾，足你能吃到饱，这简直就是我最喜欢的节日，没有之一了。同时呢，我们这个地方也是平时都是一直开放的。我们学生如果想要在这边野餐，或者说他们想要在这边休息，都可以到这块草地来。然后周边也有椅子，我们就可以坐在这儿或者躺在草地上面休息，特别的惬意。
All right, let's keep going. All right, so right behind us, we have the Commons. It's our brand new dining hall, opened just a few years ago, actually my first semester here as a freshman. It is an incredible place to go for food, especially in terms of like college dining. There are 2 stories to it and a ton of different seating options available as well. It's pretty much like an all-you-can-eat style where there's a bunch of different stations that host different styles of serving food. So there's one that's like all about sandwich station, there's like a pasta station, one that typically orders, it's called simplified, so it typically offers different sort of like healthier options as well. There's like carved, which is always has like a nice like turkey or ham that's being sliced up to be served alongside other like types of vegetables, food, stuff like that. Another great piece or perk, I guess, about the Commons is that it's super inclusive towards anyone who might be on any type of dietary restriction, whether it be sort of like if you have to be vegan or gluten-free, vegetarian, or for another religious region such as like kosher. They are great about accommodating towards any type of dietary restriction, which is super nice.
所以我们身后的这栋建筑物呢，是我们最近几年才翻修的我们的食堂。我们的食堂算是我们学校比较重要的一个建筑物了。我们所有的学生除了到 LBC 吃饭以外，我们最主要的聚集地就是在 LBC 的在 Commons， 就是我们的食堂。然后我们的食堂呢，提供了几乎涵盖了所有的食物，就是比如说，如果你是一个素食主义者，或者你是要吃一些比如说没有腐制品的食物，或者是这种 option 它都会提供给你，然后你也可以跟他们去跟这些食物跟他们这些提供食物的人沟通。同时呢，我们的食堂是分为2层，然后第一层主要是包含比如说像一些薯条，还有一些比较快餐类的项目。然后楼上的话呢，可能会提供一些比如说有一些小的 Asian food， 就是亚洲的一些伙食我觉得还挺好吃的。然后同时还有一些蔬菜类的，然后有 pasta， 每天都有 pasta， 还有 pizza， hamburger， 还有一些汤水，还有我们每周5还有gumbo 可以吃。然后这 gumbo 就是我们新奥尔良独有的特色，它真的超级好吃，我超级喜欢的一道菜。然后水果、冰淇淋，所有你想要的东西应有尽有。我们是自助式的，所以能保证你在学校里面吃饭这件事情完全不愁。
I'd also like to mention that as we are in New Orleans, there are so many different places to go for food. Just a super short walk off campus, literally within 5 minutes or 10 minutes from where we are right now. Either down Fred Street or over that way on Maple Street. Always a great place to go grab a quick bite to eat if you ever are sort of like looking to do something that's a little bit different from the sort of on-campus dining options, maybe on a weekend or something, just to, you know, go out and explore the city with friends.
我们同时想要说的是，新奥尔良是一个美国特别有意思的城市，它几乎是美国美食聚集最多的一个城市，没有之一。这个城市，所以如果你们想要在周末的时候去找一家好吃的餐厅，你们可以去找 seafood bar， 或者说是周边的所有你想吃的任何东西。我们在学校的外面也是有很多的餐厅的，然后这些餐厅都非常的好吃如果你们来了，我也可以给你们推荐。
All right, let's keep going. All right, so right behind us, we have both Dixon Hall, which is sort of the main building on campus for our music department. And then behind that is, or on the other side of that building is the library, which a lot of people here call it Howie T because it is Howard Tilton Memorial Library. It's kind of the main place where a lot of students go to do work, either like during the weekday or on weekends. I know I definitely have a couple cozy study spots in that building myself that I like to go, you know, grind out on a pretty consistent basis. But that's not the only place that a lot of students go to get done, to finish their homework. So this business school is a super popular place to go, even if you're not in the business school, alongside a bunch of different study rooms inside different dorms and things like that. So they're kind of scattered all over the campus, but library is definitely a good concentration of where that stuff's going on.
所以我们身后的两栋建筑物，这栋红色的建筑物呢叫Dixon， 然后这栋建筑物主要是给我们的音乐学院的同学们准备，然后里面有很多的乐器，还有钢琴。如果你们要上这门课的话，你们就会来到这个建筑物里面学习。然后同时，我们后面的这栋建筑物呢，是我们的大型的图书馆。这个图书馆基本上我几乎囊盖了我们所有学生如果想要做作业的话都会来到这个图书馆，然后这样的一个需求。同时呢，这个图书馆里面也有PJ's Coffee， 然后如果你们累了，或者你们想要在里面坐一会儿休息一会儿也是可以的，没有问题的。图书馆开到晚上很晚，所以你们可以在里面一直学习，把你们的作业都做完然后图书馆里面非常的安静同学们大家都比较自主自觉，然后如果你们想要读一些书你们也可以去图书馆借阅，然后浏览都没有问题。
All right, so this is one of my favorite parts of campus actually. I love just looking at all these sort of overhanging trees over the little street right here. But this building is Woldenberg Art Center. Housed in it are a couple of different small classrooms alongside a huge lecture hall where different speakers typically come in to hold events. Just recently we had an NBC news correspondent come to talk to my fraternity, which was a really cool experience. Got to meet her, ask a couple questions one-on-one. She's also a Tulane alum, so it was really nice sort of having someone come back, give back to the Tulane community. But probably my favorite part about the Woldenberg Art Center is the fact that we have the largest glass blowing studio of any US university right here at Tulane. Now, obviously, unfortunately, we don't have a glass blowing major, but it is a great opportunity to sort of get involved in some kind of discipline or area or hobby, passion, whatever you want to call it, that you probably wouldn't have as great of access to anywhere else, which is really something that Tulane sort of promotes through a variety of different facets around their campus and generally academic experience.
所以我们身后的这栋 building 呢是叫Woldenberg Art Center， 然后这个也是我们的一个非常大型的艺术学院。这边有一个 museum， 然后是倾向于做一些艺术的展览还有一些雕刻或者怎么样都会摆在这边，然后作为一个陈列。 另外呢，这个建筑物里面呢也有很多的小型的课堂我们会在这里面上课。它同时有一个非常大型的一个 lecture， 然后这个 lecture 呢，它主要是针对于比如说有一些 guest speaker， 就是有一些过来演讲的人，或者是我们请的一些比较重要的嘉宾，我们都会在这个地方，然后做一个演讲，然后这里也能容纳几百个人的几百个学生，然后在那个同一个教室里面，然后我们大家一起交流互相的心得。然后刚刚 Gary 也说了，他自己在这边也有参加一个活动，然后请的那个 guest speaker 嘉宾也是一个我们的校友，然后是跟他的学术也有关系的，然后他自己也非常喜欢刚那一次的活动，然后也是参与在了里面，所以就是这样。
Keep going. All right, so right behind us we have the Campus Health Center building. This is where a bunch of different, health resources are available to students, such as a pharmacy on the top level, a place where you can get immunization. So I've gotten allergy shots here for the past couple of years. Alongside just general checkups, you can just sort of show up and be like, hey, I'm not feeling good. Please test me for stuff, I guess. But then there's also opportunities where students can actually make an appointment just in case it's more of a serious matter, so that they know that they can sort of have a set time to go in and stuff in the future. We also want to mention that we also have the blue light system on campus. There's an example of one of the blue lights right here. It's pretty standard around a lot of different universities around the US. So you press the red button and it's someone to sort of help you make sure that you're doing okay, is with you in a really short time. Just to sort of go over campus safety though, I want to personally mention that I've never really felt unsafe neither on campus or off campus. I think Tulane safety is really something that we make sure to prioritize in all facets of the university, not only on campus but also the surrounding area. Most of Tulane's campus is surrounded by a residential neighborhood, which means that it is a safe place to be living. It's one of the reasons why 85 to 90% of juniors and seniors respectively live off campus, myself included. And I feel if it wasn't such a sort of safe and welcoming and heartfelt place to sort of live and a community to join, I don't think those numbers would be so high. So definitely a good place to go if you're looking sort of a secure and safe environment to be a student in.
所以我们身后的这一栋白色建筑物呢，就是我们学校的校医院啦。这个里面包含了一个药房，然后同时也包含了所有你们所需要的 general doctor。然后这些医生呢，如果你们觉得你们自己身体不舒服了，你们就可以跟他们的前台打电话，或者说到他们的前台直接预约一个时间，然后跟你的医生见面，然后告诉他你的症状是什么。同时呢，我们国际学生可能会需要在刚开始的时候打一些疫苗，这些疫苗可能在国内打起来不是那么的方便，没有关系，我们学校会提供这样的一个服务。我们学校只要你想要打，比如说 HPV 或者是这样子的一些疫苗的话，你都可以来到我们学校的 Campus Health， 然后你只要预约一下，他们就会免费帮你打完你所有需要的疫苗。然后同时呢，我们后面的这个蓝色的这个小绿色的这个建筑呢，是我们的一个 emergency 的一个 light， 然后这个主要是为了保护我们学生的安全，然后专门设置的学校整个周边都有，然后这就是其中的一个。如果你们按下那个红色的按钮，那我们学校就会有警卫专门跑过来，然后来看你到底出现了什么样的状况。所以这个也是为了学校的安全考虑的。不过我觉得我们学校的安保设施是非常非常到位的，就我在学校里面从来没有感受到任何一丝的不安全，因为学校所有的巡逻就基本上是24小时不间断的。你在周边所有的路边，你都可以看到有警察，然后只要你说你是杜兰的学生，他们都会尽全力的再来帮你。同时我们学校的外部，你们可能也比较就是有担心，如果有安全的问题，其实不会，因为我们学校的外部其实主要都是一些 我们属于 Uptown， 然后这个地方也是比较安全的一个片区。同时这边的建筑周围的都是居民区所以说大家都是在一个比较和谐、比较安定的一个环境里面的。所以这也是为什么有很多大3、大4的学生都愿意到在大3、大4的时候选择出去住的原因，因为周围其实都是比较安全的。
All right, let's go. All right, so right behind us is one of the main residential quads on campus. It's called Warren Quad, named after the residence hall that is pretty much right next to it, which is right over here on this side of the quad. On the other side of it is Mayor Hall. Right over here is Butler, and then right behind us is Weatherhead Hall, which is where a lot of sophomores live. So these are 4 of about 9 or 10 different residence halls that are located on Tulane's campus. The primary ones that freshmen are located in are Josephine Louise, or JL, Sharp, Monroe, what are the other ones? Wall, we have Patterson, I guess Butler, I guess I already mentioned, and then sometimes Warren as well. And there are a couple of other sophomore ones as well, such as like Greenbaum, and then there's Aaron as well, which is primarily apartment style, but most of those freshman dorm opportunities and halls are buildings that have a suite, not a suite, a communal style living arrangement. What that means is there will be a bunch of rooms all along one side of the hall and a bunch of rooms all along the other side, and then one bathroom where everyone sort of like shares in that shared space during their time like living in the unit. But then some of the other halls on campus, such as Weatherhead Hall and Wall, are suite style, where there will be 2 rooms that are separated by a bathroom, which is also a pretty common one. I personally lived in suite and had a fantastic time. The bathrooms were cleaned like weekly, which was pretty nice. But I also have a ton of friends who had an incredible experience living in the communal style as well. So you really can't go wrong.
所以我们现在所处的位置呢，基本上是我们最大型的一个生活的居住区域了。然后中间这一块是我们的休息草坪，然后它的这一块叫 Warren Quad， 然后它的命名是主要针对于我们旁边这边左边的这个建筑物的，是随着它的名字命名的，它叫 Warren。然后呢，同时这边是 Butler， 然后这个是 Mayor， 对，然后那边是 Warren。对，然后我们的前方是 Weatherhead Hall， 然后Mayor 和 Weatherhead Hall 呢，主要是针对于大2的学生，然后大1的学生的话，Warren 也有 ，Butler 也有，Monroe 也有 ，Sharp 也有 ，Patterson 也有，所以其实有很多的宿舍是可以让你入住的。然后这些宿舍呢，在大1的时候选择的时候，我们可以选择我们自己的室友。我们虽然不可以选择我们的宿舍，但是我们的宿舍都是很干净、很卫生的。然后，而且，我其实身边也有很多同学是住在就像我，比如说我是住在 Monroe 的大1的时候，然后我那个楼层大家都特别的，就是不管是我的室友还是我的周边的一些同学，他们都对我特别的 nice。然后我们每一个楼层都会有一个 RA， 他会如果你有任何的问题，你也可以去找他们，然后他们会帮你解决你的问题。整体而言，我觉得我的体验是非常好的，而且尤其到了我大2的时候住到了 Mayor 以后，我觉得 Mayor 的环境它是更倾向于2个双人房间，然后中间是一个 bathroom，不像 Monroe 的话是一个公共的卫生间，然后Mayor 的话，我觉得房间会稍微更大一些，环境的话也会洗手间的话也是比较干净的，然后所以我的体验是非常好的。
I also want to briefly mention, just super quickly, how living arrangements and room assignments are done for first years. The best way to think of it is as students can choose who they live with, but not where they live. So students can request or actually sort of, what's a good word for it? They basically choose another person who they've previously communicated with, say, hey, I want to live with this person. That person will like confirm that, and then basically you're randomly assigned to one of the dorms around campus, unless you apply to a residential learning community, which is sort of a small learning community that's housed within a bunch of different dorms around campus that are sort of built around a shared interest. Those aren't the most, not too many people are actually involved with those around campus, but they are a great way to sort of centralize your Tulane experience, especially that first 1 or 2 semesters that you're here around a specific part of campus, such as sports or arts or other things of that nature.
我还想补充一些，就是他刚刚接触到的，除了有关于筛选自己的室友以外，大一虽然说我们不能筛选宿舍，但是我们大二就可以筛选宿舍啦。我们可以自己选择我们自己想要的房间，然后也可以同时选择你们自己的舍友。如果你们想要在中途，比如说选择，就是如果你觉得你自己住的环境不是很好，或者你想要换一个房间，换一个单人间什么的，我们学校是有一个换的时间段的，就是在开学住了1、2周以后，他们会问你说，如果你们想不想要换自己的房间，那这些房间他们就会他们如果有空的房间的话，他们就会给你调换过去，按照你的诉求来给你换过去。同时，如果说你没有什么，就是尤其是国际学生，可能一开始不认识什么样的朋友，没有关系的。就是我们学校在给你选你的室友的时候，你可以选择 randomly selected， 就是你可以去随机挑选。如果你想要跟美国人成为宿舍朋友，然后你想要多接触一些美国的文化，这是一个非常好的方式。他会问你的一些性格，还有你一些住宿的一些习惯，然后他会帮你通过这些特点来学校来给你选择你自己合适的一个 roommate， 然后来保证你每一次生活都能够比较的按照你正常的规律作息来操作。所以这是我们的一个 OISS 的办公室所在，然后它是处在我们刚刚出来的那个宿舍的那个Cudd，然后和 PJ 的旁边。然后这个角落呢，是我们国际学生非常重要的一个建筑物。所有你想问的，所有你有关于你的 F1 status 或者你的 I-20的一些信息，这些信息你都可以到这个地方，然后跟他们预约你们的一些项目。然后如果你有任何的问题，你只要来到这个建筑物，然后跟他们表达你的诉求，他们都会尽力的帮你。同时如果说你有任何的问题，比如说你碰到了你没有办法融入整个美国，一开始的时候可能没有办法一下子融入学校的一些文化，那他们也会有心理辅导员，然后这个心理辅导员也会跟你沟通，然后跟你聊天，这样来保证你能够在学校里面尽快的融入整个学校的一个环境。同时呢，如果你有任何的关于实习，或者说有一些签证还有一些文件需要打印的话，你只要来到这个建筑物就可以了。这个是非常非常重要的，我希望大家都能记住它。
Yeah, and I can just briefly mention that this is the building that the Center for Global Education is housed on Tulane's campus. The Center for Global Education basically sort of encapsulates or sort of surrounds a lot of the different offices here at Tulane that involve international students or study. For example, although I'm not an international student, I did come here for a meeting with my study abroad advisor who really helped me make sure I knew which program I wanted to go into. And it really ended up working out because I will be abroad next semester. So really looking forward to that. And it's just generally like a really, really useful building for people looking to get involved in international study or international students coming here in any sense of sort of like that term. Right. All right, so right now we've just recently crossed onto the athletic quad of Tulane's campus. Right behind us is the Riley Student Recreation Center. I believe that's what it's called formally. Yeah. Should I say. That's basically one of the most put together and well-rounded recreational facilities for like working out or just to use as a gym that I've really ever been inside, even as someone who so which is really nice. So they have a bunch of different like basketball courts, a whole indoor track, indoor and outdoor pool, like ping pong tables, a bunch of different machines, and then the top floor is mainly reserved for a lot of different like exercise class, whether they be like dance, some form of dance, or like cycle or stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So a lot of different cool ways to really like get moving at Tulane, and it's free and open to all students for really whenever they want to go and get their workout in.
OK， 我们现在在的这个地方呢，主要是我们的运动场地。然后我们现在脚下这一块是足球场，然后我们身后的这个建筑物呢叫 Riley Recreation Center， 是我们的健身房。然后我们的健身房里面几乎包含了我们所知的所有的运动项目，包含壁球、乒乓球、篮球、排球、羽毛球等等等等，所有这一些项目。然后外面这片场地还有一片网球场，因为我自己打网球，所以我也经常去这个地方。尤其大一的时候，经常会来这边，然后跟同学们一起打网球。同时这里面还有游泳馆，然后如果你想游泳的话，也可以在这边锻炼。Riley 的3楼呢，主要是举办一些大型的活动所准备的，还有一些小课程，比如说像健身的课程啊什么的，我们都会在 Riley 的3楼举办。然后我想要说的是，我们学校的Riley Center 健身房是对我们学校所有的学生开放的。你只要拿着你学校的 ID 卡，你就可以刷到里面去，然后你就可以进去做任何你想做的，然后也同时可以去租借所有的运动设施。哪怕你想要出去，比如说我们学校有一些 outgoing 的一些活动的话，这些活动你也可以租借，比如说像一些独木舟或者是这样子的一些项目，也可以在我们的 Riley Center 举办，并且租借。对，然后另外我们的 Riley Center 后面还有一个football game，football stadium， 就是我们的橄榄球场。然后我们这边也会举行橄榄球还有垒球的一些项目，然后这个我们学校也会每年都会举办很多场，然后对于学生它是免费的，同时我们也可以请我们的父母家长来，然后我们也只需要一个优惠的价格就可以进。
Yeah, I also just want to really briefly mention how easy it is to get involved in organized sport here at Tulane. We have 3 levels. Division 1, which is sort of reserved for students who are here really to like play sports, but I also personally know a lot of different student athletes are part of a variety of teams. Probably the most unique one is our bowling team, which is pretty cool. We have a D1 bowling team, as well as a sailing team, which is pretty cool. I know a lot of people on there as well. We also have club sports, which is sort of it's pretty much like a good way to meet a lot of people. It's very organized in the sense of you actually go to visit other universities' campuses and actually play in like tournaments and stuff like that. I was on the Frisbee team here for a while, and they're actually going to nationals later this year, which I'm really excited about. And then there's also intramural sports, which are super casual, like you show up to a beach volleyball court on a Sunday morning and just kind of have a fun time with some friends. So really easy to get involved in a lot of different sports here at Tulane. It's one of my favorite parts about sort of being a student here.
我们学校其实我们想说的是，我们学校对于学生而言，运动简直就是我们不可分割的一部分。我们学校其实有很多 Division 1的一些项目，比如说像 bowling 还有surfing。Sailing,
yeah. No worries.
Sailing, 这些都是我们学校 Division 1的项目。然后，另外呢，我们学校其实除了我们的体育生，就是我们的运动员们，他们有自己的宿舍，然后他们自己也有自己的校队，他们每天都会训练以外，我们对我们学校的其他学生，其他的偏学术类的学生呢，我们也会有自己的俱乐部，还有 club， 然后这些 club 你也可以参与，跟他们交朋友。然后其实你可以 进入每一个你想要参加的任何项目的一些组织里面。比如说，你就可能周日的早上，你想跑到我们的沙滩排球那边跟同学们玩一场，你就可以很简单的就跟他们讲说你想进入，然后他们就会邀请你，然后大家一起玩。然后其实这些都是可以的，所以我们并没有一个强制的规定说大家一定要就是一定要参加一个俱乐部才可以做运动或者怎么样的。其实我们学校是没有这个限制的，然后大家也是非常注重健身、强身体魄。
All right, let's head back to Gibson.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this tour today. Just before we sort of wrap things up, Linda and I would both love to share our experiences with why we came to Tulane, as well as why we actually want to stay here. So, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. I pretty like New Orleans.
Do you want to do it in Chinese or
sure.
in English? You can do whatever you want. I just want to know mine.
I can do English.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I pretty like this. I like this weather pretty much. It's pretty warm. It's actually December right now, but the temperature is around like 20 degrees Celsius. So it's pretty warm, and people here are pretty nice. They're pretty helping, and I feel like Tulane, especially the professors, they always help each other and help the students to work out their projects and assignments. And if you have any questions, you can ask for any departments that you wanted to ask. So yeah, I heard about that when I was in China, and then I know it's a pretty nice place and it's a really great place to explore. So I wanted to come here. I early decision here, so I like this place, and I'm not regret for it.
All right. As for me, or would you like to do a translation?
You can do it.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. As for me, I came from a small town, or not a town, but I came from a pretty actually sizable suburb from just next to Ohio State University, which is one of the largest universities in the world. And it sort of showed me that I didn't really want to have a college experience that was going to be similar to a lot of the people who I went to high school with, because I knew a lot of them were going to end up going to OSU or other Ohio State schools. And New Orleans, and coming to New Orleans, coming to Tulane was pretty much the definition of getting out there and doing something different from the rest of my peers. It really stuck out to me in terms of academic collaboration and how I can come in entirely undecided on what I wanted to major and then figure that out as I went along. And that's exactly what I did. And then especially again, academic collaboration, which is absolutely something I've encountered along the way, and just the overall cultural experience that I knew I would get coming to a city as unique as New Orleans. It's pretty much like the one place you can go inside the US while still feeling like you're studying abroad somewhere, which is pretty cool. And of course, my favorite thing that's probably kept me here the most above a lot of other things, even with how great of an academic experience I've gotten, with cultural experience I've gotten, has been all the incredible people I've met along the way. I know I'm gonna be friends with these people for the rest of my life. I've grown really a valuable network across a really diverse community from around the world. It's a really cool way to it's been a really cool way to make the world feel smaller yet so much bigger at the same time, with all the endless opportunity that await me in the future. So really enjoyed my experience here, and I know Linda has as well. So do you want to do also a Chinese translation for your reason why?
所以我想说一下我来杜兰的原因第一个是因为我现在身处在新奥尔良，然后这边的天气真的非常的气候宜人。夏天的时候可能只有35度，但是35度左右，然后现在已经到12月份了，我们这边的天气还是20度左右的，所以我其实身上穿的这些是非常够的，我甚至可能还会有一点出汗，所以这边的天气真的很好。然后 很多然后另外我觉得我们的学校，我之前做过一些研究，知道我们学校其实虽然说是一个小的 campus， 但是这个 campus 它包含的人都是从美国的各个地方过来的，包含纽约、包含芝加哥这些大城市的地方。我觉得这边更像是一片世外桃源一样，它虽然很小，但是它非常景色非常优美，而且大家都互相帮助，然后大家都非常的热情，尤其新奥尔良人这边，新奥尔良人的特色就是非常的热情，所以我觉得这个是一个很好的促使我来到新奥尔良的原因，然后我也非常的开心，就像Garrett 说的，我们两个都是因为这边环境也好，然后这边的一个人脉关系也好，我觉得我们在这边认识的朋友，最后可能都会成为我们社会当中互相帮助的一份子，所以这个对我们而言是很重要。虽然这是个小地方，但是它涵盖了所有的人文环境，然后所有的你想要的资源我觉得是我们来到这边都是非常开心。然后如果大家来到我们学校，记得如果在路上看到我的时候，要跟我和 Garrett 招手，然后我们也会热情的回应你们。然后如果你们有任何问题的话，你们也可以来问我，然后也可以问 Garrett， 然后我们都会帮助你。作为学长学姐，我们都会帮助你。
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Hope you end up really applying to Tulane and looking more into it in the future. Thanks for watching.
谢谢，拜拜。